Yo, what's up guys, MattWic here, super consistent uploader, back with another NHL 25 draft video. If you remember from all that time ago, we lost in the Stanley Cup Finals once again to the Minnesota Wild this time, and I'm finally, I know I was teasing it the last two videos I think, gonna release my findings. I haven't really played NHL 25 besides be a pro too much lately, but I want you guys to help me test it out. Let me know what you think about this new method that I found to find players that have what I think is an increased development trait. I know it just shows their potential, but I feel like certain guys in the game have a higher ability to grow than other guys, just based off of what I've seen so far with the couple seasons in my other GM mode that I've been testing this out in. We're going to grab some guys in this one that I've been testing it out in, but the main rounds you're going to be looking for is going to be the rounds 2 through 4 or 5. Normally is where I found the best guys that fit this criteria. So let me hop into another GM mode, and I'm going to show you how to find these guys, and I'll show you the guys that I have pinned right now. All right, so here we are, my other GM mode that I've been using to kind of test this out, skipping through some years. So what you're going to want to be able to do to see these guys and see what you want to see is you're going to go to the very first day that the new season starts. So don't sim a day. Once it pops up to like see the goals and stuff like that and set your lines, set your captains, whatnot, go straight to the draft class after that. And then what you're going to want to do is go through pretty much the draft class. You could sort as well by their central scouting ranking and the previous central scouting ranking. But what you can see is you have guys here 0 because they're 17 years old, first year in the draft. But you'll also have guys that were in the draft last year that now show their previous central scouting ranking and what their new ranking is. So what you can kind of go by this is how much they've grown in that off season where they haven't been drafted. So you can see here I have a lot of guys pinned. 500 points this guy has jumped in terms of his potential. There's other guys too where you'll see like he went from 878 to 91. So obviously this guy had a massive jump in his overall. So what you'll do day one, go through the draft class, find these guys that have these insane ratings, pin them, and then just keep an eye on them throughout the season. See what they do, see how their stats look. If their stats look like crap and they're not really playing well, you kind of get an idea that maybe they just suck, maybe they just moved up because they got a couple overall boosts. Who knows how the game does it, but it kind of gives you a little bit of an insight, and I've had some good luck with some of these guys, drafting them and seeing how they've developed. It seems like they develop a little bit faster than most other dudes. So definitely, like I said, test it out for yourself. Let me know if you find any great steals. I've gone through, I've had guys that have been unknown that my computer just hasn't even scouted, but I've went ahead and grabbed them because I had them pinned, like this guy, 880 to 63, another goaltender. Let's see, is this guy not a goaltender? Yeah, left wing, here we go, Kurt Chorney, 19 years old. You can go through and see. This is one thing I look at as well big time. Games played is a big one, especially if you're looking in like those leagues that are higher difficulty for players. So if they're playing more games, getting more minutes, that obviously means their overall has gone up so that the coach is putting them in more. So you see this guy went from 34 games played, only had 4 goals, to 58 games played. So obviously the computer put him in the system a lot more. Had a great season, 4 points to 41 points. That shows consistent growth. Now, what you'll want to look at is when you get to the next draft with this guy in particular is, did he have another jump? Like, did he go from 4 points to 41 points to 80 to 100 points? Then you're like, holy shit, this guy might be a beast. He's had consistent growth as he's gotten more playing time. So that's one of the things that you'll be able to see as you go on. So like I said, guys, test this out for yourself. First day of the season when it starts up, set lines, edit lines, or edit lines, set captains, go straight to the draft class, go through the draft, see who had these massive jumps, grab those guys. They're, like I said, they're mostly going to be 2nd to 5th round guys. Sometimes you'll find like maybe a little bit later in the draft, but obviously if they were later in the draft behind the 5th, they didn't have a huge jump. So like a guy like this who's going to probably get picked in the 2nd or 3rd round, or a guy like that goaltender who went from 880 to 63, it's definitely worth keeping an eye on them and seeing where they go there. Like this guy, 286 to 67. Obviously a guy I would be very interested in. Let's see what he did in the WHL. So you can see here, same amount of games played pretty much, points around the same. So you really want to look at if he has a massive jump this season. And that's one of the things you want to go through. But yeah, something interesting that I've just seen playing around. Obviously, if you skip past the first day, I believe it just resets the scouting ranking. So definitely, like I said, guys, check this out. That might be the highest guy I've ever seen. Cam Brain went from 253 to 35. So he might be able to get himself into the first round, and he went undrafted last year. So definitely something interesting to keep an eye on. Let's test it out together, just because I have not been playing a ton of NHL. A lot of Monster Hunter, a lot of Schedule 1 lately. Haven't been uploading as much as you may have noticed, but still finding some secrets out in the game. But let's hop back over to the DraftKings, see if we can have a stellar draft, and then we'll see if we can maybe get back to another Stanley Cup final. All right, back over with the DraftKings. Here we go. I did make one trade as well. As you know, if you watched the last video, Adam Bachfist, his contract was expiring, so we weren't going to extend him out. So he still had some trade value, found a team that wanted him, and that was the Utah Hockey Club. So I was able to pick up their 16th overall pick in exchange for his rights, and I gave up, I believe, a 5th round pick as well. So a very good trade on our end. I guess they just really wanted themselves some Adam Bachfist. I'm not going to complain too much. This is not my Calgary Flames GM mode, which I will get back to at some point. Hopefully here soon in the next couple of days. I think I said that in the last video, but let's see the first overall pick, 83 overall medium elite, Darius Hogan. I actually think the second guy in this draft class is going to be a little bit better than him. So let's see if that does come true. It's tough to beat an 83, but 83 overall as well, and only 17 years of age. So this is a young, and I believe the other guy was 18. So yeah, a year younger, but he had some good size. I mean, they both have good size on him, but this guy, he was playing against A+ competition, put up those numbers, as opposed to Hogan, who I think was playing B competition, and only 17 goals, 17 assists in that. So Hanu Kuka, and he's got some superstar abilities there too, so great for him. Power forward, we love to see that. St. Louis Blues got themselves a steal there with the second pick, 82 overall for the San Jose Sharks there, who still somehow stink. I don't know if they've made the playoffs once in this entire GM mode. Oh my god, 83 overall again. Alvin May for the Pittsburgh Penguins as they try to get right. It's been a while since they've made the playoffs, and this looks like a hell of a player as well. Three superstar abilities, right wing, left wing, 5'11", 180. Just great stats, great skater as well. Offensive awareness and defensive awareness are already great, so hell yeah. Pittsburgh Penguins, the Carolina, another 80 overall player, Malachi Ackers. 50 goals, 63 assists for him. He has a superstar ability as well. Did the only guy that not have a superstar ability was the first pick? Yeah. I thought it would be something like, oh, maybe if he's a franchise player, because I didn't have him scouted, but that is not the case. And every player that came after him had abilities and are also medium elite. So, oof, on that first overall pick there. Another 80 overall gets drafted here. This might be one of the most insane drafts we've seen in a while. One hell of a one to come back with. Philadelphia Flyers, who seems like they've had a ton of first-round pick or top 10 picks over the years. They're still kicking around up there. And there's our first drop-off, the Vegas Golden Knights, Joey McQuaid. Looked like a good player, but that overall, especially after all those close 80s, besides one guy, 80 overalls, got drafted. Calgary with P-Bang, Par Bang. Great name. I love it for the Calgary Flames. I'd probably take him as well. Columbus Blue Jackets, 81 overall. So he had 2 66s go, and then Columbus picks it right back up with an 81. Jeffrey Fistrick. Oof, what a name. Two-way defender as well. Not a defensive defenseman like the other guy. 6'4", 199. Hell of a skater, too. Oof, right D, too. Oh, my goodness. Columbus with a sexy pick there. Islanders. Oh, what, dude? What is this draft? Holy shit. I should have done this draft sooner. Oh, my God. Another 80 overall player comes out of the draft. God damn it. I wanted to title this one, New Development, but now, Jesus Christ, I want to title it, How Many 80 Overalls Can Get Picked in the First Round of this one. Oh, my goodness. Vegas and Calgary looking real bad there. Even the Flyers. Oh, my God. Was this guy a two-way defender as well? He was also a right D, 6'2", 207. What are they feeding these kids? Holy shit. Next pick. Oh, Ovechkin. Artem Ovechkin, 77 overall. This has to be the most loaded draft that I've ever seen. It's still going too. Oh my God. 79 overall, Guillermo Bowman. Offensive defenseman, lefty, only 5'8". So I would not have probably taken this guy. A little bit too small there. Gonna get pushed around a little bit, but let's see. Vancouver. It's gonna get to us, and then that's gonna be where the 80s drop off. Don't do it again. There's no way. Okay, 68 overall with a little Roy Funk there. Good name. Detroit, 67. Okay, so it looks like we've fallen off the cliff there. If only we would have gotten one of those higher picks But let's see. Any guys? I mean, he's got a good skill assessment, but nothing that's going to be an 80. We have a goalie in the first round. That's one of the first ones I've seen in a while. It's very rare that you see a goaltender, especially the middle of the first round. Normally you see him that late first. Ooh, Raphael Abney, NHL ready, keeps his emotions in check. Very loyal, but can lack the drive to win. That's a little disappointing, but I ain't going to pass up on a nice sniper. Who else we got? We got a little Dingle here. We got Jake Dingle. We got a little Pedro Black. We got some Dingle Black there. But, ooh, and Jesus. We got Jesus in the draft as well. But we're going to go with our boy Raphael Abney. No elites. Yeah, no confirmed elites. And I didn't like any of those skill assessments. And we don't need a goaltender right now. So let's go ahead and draft Raphael Abney. Says he's NHL ready. Let's see. I'm expecting like 78 overall. 77. Not bad still. How old was he? 18 years old, 77, medium top 6. I'll take it. Honestly, I'll take it. 16th overall pick for a guy that we were going to let go in free agency anyway. Hell yeah. All right, now let's go back to our 32nd pick. Take a look. Where'd that goaltender go? We got a low elite there. Anybody else? 63, 66 overall low elite. Where's the goalie? Where's the goalie? 60 overall medium elite. So it really doesn't strike me as a massive first round steal, but I guess to each their own. Winnipeg needs another goaltender without Hellebuck there anymore. 72 overall. That was the guy that was next up for us, but Tampa Bay also passed on him. So let's take a look. And I do believe I do have some guys pinned on this draft that I did find that had a big increase in their central scouting ranking. So we'll test that out. We might just go with our boy Jesus here because he had the best skill assessment. I'll go back through here, look at some ETAs, 2 years, 4 years. What was Jesus's? Where's Jesus at? Where's our boy Jesus? I guess I should look at some of these guys too. 2 years for Jesus Barnett. Soft-spoken person, but seems like he'd handle. Oh, Jesus, very soft-spoken. We love to see it. 3 years, 4 years. All right, Jesus. I was going to do it for the memes, but he actually turned out to be the top player. Jesus Barnett, get on the team. 6'2", we like the size. 67 overall left-wing sniper. We got two, not one, but two left-wing snipers in this draft class, so we are casting a wide net. So let's go ahead, sim pick the Stanley Cup champion, Minnesota Wild there. Let's take a look who they grabbed. And 61 overall, Sergei Shirokov. Not bad. I guess to add him with Kirill Kaprizov if he is still on their team. But let's take a look. I believe we still have our second round pick. We might have, I think we have 2 third-round picks. That's where we're hanging out at. So let's go back to pick 65. We'll make our pick, and then we'll take a look at the second round. See if we missed out on anything big. We have Bradley Nesbitt there. Let's actually take a look at my pins and see if anybody is a second-round projection. Does not look like it. We have this guy here, Gabriel Wall. Not bad. He is 19 years of age. That's the one thing about that is you can see guys drafting a little bit older guys instead of taking the young guys. But, I mean, look at this guy here. And this is kind of what I'm talking about by looking at their stats and looking at their progression. So first year, 40 games, 3 points, nothing really to write home about. Second season, 67 games, 34 points, but look at the power play points. Nothing. He didn't do anything on the power play, so he wasn't playing power play time. Next season, he got good enough, 65 points, doubled his point total, and then also was getting power play time, had 16 points on the power play. So that is definitely something to look at, that he might be a worthy pick for you there, but it looks like we don't have a ton of guys in this one like we did in the other draft class. Some years are better than others, obviously, so definitely something to keep an eye on. We do have this guy as well, Tate Finger. We'll probably draft him maybe at some point if we have a pick around that time. And we also have Peter Bondra's regen, so good to see that he is back in the league. But let's take a look who we want to go with here. We do have Bernard Saint-Jacques. Jean-Jacques. What's that guy from Letterkenny? Something around that. But we do have a Jemmy here, Keith Roenick. What's his? Is his first season? There's nothing really to go on there. Top 9. I mean, here's the Wall guy. I might as well just take him just to see. Yeah, let's just do it. Get on my team, Gabriel Wall. 66 overall, medium top 9. Not bad. I'll take it, and especially a guy that got some power play time he will fit right in, I mean, 1 year really. Once he gets to 70 overall, we'll be able to toss him into the NHL or AHL lineup, and then he can grow from there. And that is one thing I also think is pretty important, is getting those guys playing time, so that way they can get those, they can progress. So at least maybe find them in there a couple games, switch the lineup throughout midseason, and then keep an eye on those progress reports to see who's growing, who's not growing. If you have a guy who you're playing every game and he isn't grown at all, bench his ass. Maybe trade him even, because he's a bitch. But that is just something to look at. A little bit more information that I don't think enough people take advantage of in the game. So let's go back to pick number 89. Nothing really else in that second round to write home about. Let's see if we have any. I believe we had a couple low elites as well in this draft class. Let's take a look when those guys are coming up. I think they were all, in the 200s. All three of them were pinned. I'm trying to think if I did that right before the draft or not. Lorenzo Da Silva we got there. Braden Bilak and Igor Kozlov. I love that size, 6'5", 204. That's a beast of a bottom six center right there. A guy that's going to be a great penalty killer possibly in the future, but too soon right now to take someone like that. So let's go back and sort by pins. What are we at? Pick number 89. Do any of our pinned guys fall around that spot? We got 106 there with Voinov, who's a medium top 9. 20 years of age. Let's take a look at his stats. And like I said again here, this is the biggest thing I look for, especially with Russia and that A+ competition, games played. Yeah, they're not going to have a ton of points because they're still going to be a low overall, I guess, compared to the old guys. I don't know who they're playing against over there. But 9 games, 16 games, 40 games. So obviously he got more faith from the coaching staff to play more. So that is something definitely promising for a player like that. We have Kozlov there, but that's too late to take him right now. What about this guy, Halsmarlson? Not as big of a jump that we'd like to see. 100 here. Callie Erickson. Center. See, this is another thing too. So 10 games, 22 games. Okay, a little bit of a jump. Points, but he's played over in the SHL, which is also A+ or A competition as well. So we got some points in there. But I think let's go with the Russian. Let's give a shot at him. Let's just give this full video to what we want to test out. Ilya Voinov, he's a little bit older, but I will take him here. It might be, like I said, I'm just doing this to test it out now, not really too worried about it. But another 66 overall, medium top 9 player, and a nice center to add to the team. He's already got pretty well-rounded stats as well. I guess just the awarenesses maybe need to come up a little bit, physicality as well, but I mean, solid pick there. In the third round to get a player that could develop sooner rather than later. We could be filling up our AHL system. And if you already have a stacked AHL system, maybe you just take your chance on the younger guys. But let's go. Yep, we got one more pick. Actually, let me go and take a look at the rest of the round to see if any elites got taken there. 66. It's also a really nice thing just because you can control it a little bit more than the scouting. I know the scouting can be a little bit out there sometimes in terms of like you'll scout a guy 100 times and you still won't have all the information on him or know his true potential, which can be a little bit annoying. So like I said, this is something you can control a little bit in case you do get those weaker draft classes. You can have some guys to maybe fall back on. Not a bad pick there for the Pittsburgh Penguins. Low top 4 potential there. Pick 98. 66, but yeah, see, like, would you rather have the 66 overall medium top 9 20-year-old or the, let's see, a good one here, 53 overall medium top 6 18-year-old Jaqueen Strumble? What a name. I mean, I might take him just for the name, but it's going to take him, I mean, what do you think, in 2 years you think he's going to get the 66 overall? Odds are he's probably not. So I'm pretty happy with my pick there. But let's go ahead. Was that guy's name Wiggle? I don't know where I thought I saw that, but let's go ahead with our second pick here in the third round. We do have another guy, and he's actually right at our spot. Callie Erickson. So he played 12 more games over the last year. He had 3 assists. He was a +1. Took some PIMs. So he's going to probably, what is he, he's a power forward. Okay, so that makes sense. Do we have any other guys around this spot? Ooh, Tate Finger. Yeah, we're going to go with Tate Finger here. Doubled the games, doubled the points. More shots. I mean, what I normally... Yeah, it's just crap. Great name. Tate Finger. Get on team. Bang! Low elite T Finger. Get your Finger jerseys now. Finger 69. Available in the DraftKings shop today. He's going to be the future right winger of the first line right winger of the future. Future right winger of the future. Yeah, there we go. He's a long ways away, but 19 years of age, low elite, 56 overall. Does not hurt to have that in the system. Let's see who the Minnesota Wild got. Hopefully nothing, because they suck. Nothing. Yeah, nothing. What a bum. What a loser. What a terrible frickin' pick. 131. Let's go back to it. Let's take a look and see. Actually, I gotta stop doing that because I waste all my time and then I have to call timeout. But we have a couple guys here. Jude Bembridge. Let's take a look at him. Holy crap, he put up a ton of points. But see, this is what I'm saying again. 37 games played, 7 points. So he didn't do anything. Boom. Big development year. 64 games played, 37 points. Played the same amount of games. Doubled his points pretty much there. Shot the puck like a madman as well. 309 shots. I feel like that is a lot. Let me compare that to somebody else who had some points. This guy, 309 shots. Yeah, 309 shots is a lot. So let's just go ahead. He's the first guy there. Another sniper, but this time on the right wing. Can play center as well, though, which is not too shabby. Let's take a look at this guy. Yeah, did not have the big jump in season. So yeah, you can see this was one of the ones that was pinned as well. Played the same amount of games, same amount of points, so he probably didn't develop too much. Let's take a look at the ice time, see if he got a big jump there. Not really, so he did not get too much better. I don't think it changed. Yeah, come on. There we go. Let's go. There we go. Matt Brennan. This guy as well. Whoops, ice time. So he's gotten 2 more minutes of ice time per game. This guy wouldn't be a bad. If there wasn't another guy that I already liked, like Bembridge here, I would maybe take Brennan there. But Jude Bembridge, 5'9", a little small, but doesn't hurt to have one of them every now and then. Low top 6, so he was rated as a bottom 9. 45 goals in 66 games, so he might be playing a little bit above the competition there, but I mean, a guy to take a shot on that might have some interesting background coding into him. 88 discipline already, too. How many penalty minutes do you take? 40. So I guess the coach really had him working on that, and he really did not care. He's a little bit of a rat out there, but interesting pick nonetheless. Let's take a look back at the 4th round here, but you guys can kind of see what I'm talking about with these guys is we don't have a ton of information on them, or I'm not really looking at the information I have on them besides the fact that I pinned them, their stats, so I could not scout at all and still be smashing some good picks here, as opposed to what the rest of these teams are doing, getting 60 overall guys. I know they're a little bit younger, 55 overall, they're 58 overall. I'd rather have the 65 overall guy who's a little bit older, but I know a little bit more about him. So that is kind of my thinking there. 71 overall goaltender there, Jaden Lane. Decent season. I think what he's playing, he's playing Saginaw, so he wasn't getting a ton of game time, so I wonder why. Well, let's go back, pick 197 here, and see we have a trade. No, absolutely not. So let's go back and see through. Let's see if we have any more pinned guys. We should be coming up on our elites. This guy, and if you have him fully scouted and you see he's a 70, even if the numbers look good, which this guy is, they do not. He played less games, which you do not love to see. So we will not take him. Yeah, we'll just probably go with our elite guys here. We got Lorenzo da Silva. It's a name I have not seen a lot of. Is very passionate. Let me see, Belak. Well-rounded personality. See, I like the personality traits going off that too. No weaknesses. And his strength, sniper. No idea what that means. And he's a power forward. You love to see it. Lorenzo da Silva, what are his strengths? Passing ability, character, work ethic. He's a heart and soul guy. High motor. This is what they say about the white players in the NFL draft. So we got a big pick here. Do we want a power forward or a two-way forward? 6'1" center or a 6'3" right wing? Let's go with... Who had the sniper? I'm going to take Brendan Belak. I feel like that's just so funny. 57 overall, low elite, so not the best because he's already 20 years of age. But like I said, it's more of the like 2nd through 4th. Sometimes you can find guys in the 5th, but when you get it into the 5th round, you're getting those lower overall guys who are older. So it might, or we're in the 6th round. So yeah, 2nd through 5th is really the spot to look for those guys, because once you get to this point, you're going to find a guy who's 20 years old and he's going to come out to like a 50, 60 overall, which not great. So I would stick it around the 2nd through the 5th round for finding those guys. But let's take a look back and see what we have here. Any studs, any medium elites? I haven't seen any medium elite goaltenders so far this draft. So, I mean, it has been a quite weak draft, but we're still picking some nice guys. 20 years old is probably another guy that we could have pinned if we would have seen him on there. Another 71 overall goaltender, not an elite though, but not a terrible pick. I mean, 18 years old, that's a good goaltender to have there, as opposed to like a 48 overall medium elite. Oh my God, Jeff Scott, 6'5", 247, enforcer, 90 strength. Oh my God, we got the John Scott regen in this draft too. This is probably one of the best drafts I've seen in this game. So, shit, man. Sorry, guys, I was sitting on this one for so long. This is a banger. Let's go sim that pick and take a look at who the Minnesota Wild got before we got into the final round, or get into the final round here in this one. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to leave a like, comment your thoughts, and subscribe to the channel if you are not already. Let's make sure we have our pick, which we do, and it's one of the last ones, so we'll go ahead, sim to it, call a quick timeout, so we got time. I see an elite taken there, but it was our boy Kozlov. Ooh, but he was only 51 overall, so I'm not too upset about that one. We'll see what our other guy, De Silva, ended up being as well. Couple enforcers coming out. John Keatley, 85 strength, not as good as Jeff Scott. Jeff Scott, that's a legendary one. Anyone else? Another enforcer. What the? Did EA update this in my time that I haven't played and add enforcers to spawn a lot more? Because I feel like you'd see like one every like 3 or 4 draft classes if you're lucky. There's De Silva, 59 overall. Ooh, and he was a little younger. That's a hell of a 7th round pick there by the Utah Hockey Club, who we fleeced out of their 1st round pick. So I guess it is only fair that they got him. We'll spread the wealth around a little bit, and then just for shits and giggles, let's go through. Wait, do I have any elites left before I do this? Oh, we did have this guy. Wait, Jace Cummins, nice. Javon Byron, not impressed by the point total there. How about this guy? Just making sure because I'm gonna grab someone insane. I'm just going to grab a guy from like the very back end of the draft and just see what they turn out as, because like I showed you, those guys from that 800 spot, they could step it up. So let's see. We got Demetrius Winkler. What a name there. That might win one of the best names that I have seen. But let's look for, actually, let's sort by age. See, yeah, we got some 17-year-old players here. Let's just go through. Low top 4, 17 years of age. Right D. I mean, this might be our guy right here. Jesus Christ, that was easy. Landon McNeil. Oh my goodness. Yeah, this is a guy that next year he would jump up to like a 2nd round pick. 17 years of age, low top 4 potential already. I don't even see any more. Get on my team, Landon. 48 overall, low top 4. But hey, he's only 17. We got him in the 7th round. Sit on him, develop him, offensive defenseman, right D, perfect. Right D, left shot. Nice. All right, and the Minnesota Wild with the last pick of the draft here. Let's see if we can spy what it is. 58 overall, medium bottom 6. Not a whole lot to write home about, but like I said earlier, guys, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Try to get a little bit consistent in my uploading. I know I've been taking a lot of time off since the new year started, but I appreciate you guys if you're still sticking around. I was joking with one of my buddies that I was like, oh my God, since I've stopped uploading, I've started getting more subscribers than I did when I uploaded. So kind of a little bit of reverse psychology there to keep me off, I guess, guys. But I appreciate you watching. Have a great day. Peace.